Hello, friends. Good evening to all of you. Now, today start the semester third from second year. Now, in last year we have studied the non-chordates animals, but in semester third we have studied the classification of the chordates. Means in this third semester you have studied all these non-chordates animals from protochordates up to the mammals. Before starting the classification of the non-chordates, we know about the classification of the chordates. All of you know about the classification of the non-chordates? No, no? Yes. Therefore, the animal kingdom can divide into there are the two main groups. There are the two branch. One is non-chordate and second one is the chordates. What is the difference between the non-chordates and the chordates? In this non-chordate, the notochord is absent. In chordates, the notochord is present. This non-chordate is also known as invertebrates, and that chordate is known as the vertebrates. The invertebrate means in this invertebrate animal there is absence of the backbone, there is absence of the vertebral column. Therefore, it is the invertebrata or invertebrates. But why it is as the vertebrata? Because in this animal, this notochord can be changed into vertebral column, or this notochord modified into the vertebral column. Therefore, it is known as the vertebrata. But in this invertebrate, the vertebral column is completely absent. In the non-chordate, the notochord is completely absent. We know about the non-chordate. What is the peculiar characters? That one is the notochord is absent, the vertebral column is completely absent. Therefore, it is the non-chordates. Now, we know about the non-chordates. How many phylums? What are the examples? Now, the detail about the non-chordate. First, detail about the non-chordate means the non-chordate divides into there are the 10 phylums from phylum Protozoa up to the hemichordates. From Protozoa to hemichordates. The first phylum, that is the Protozoa. The meaning of the Protozoa is, proto means first, zoa means that is the animal. Means on earth, the first animal which is the small, microscopic and unicellular animal firstly found on the earth, which can include in the first phylum. That one is the Protozoa. Therefore, what are the peculiar character of the Protozoa? Protozoa means that is the first, zoa means that is the animals. The first animal of the earth, which is the small, which is the microscopic means the whose that animals which do not seen by the naked eye, only observe under the microscope. Therefore, it is the microscopic animal. And third one is the unicellular animal. Unicellular animal means the entire body of that animals which is made up by the single cell. Which is made up by the single cell. That is the single grade tissue animals. Entire animals which can made up by the single cell. We know about the cells. Cells are two types. One is the prokaryotic cell and second one is the eukaryotic cell. The prokaryotic cell is the unicellular, that is a simple cell, and the eukaryotic cell is the complex cells which having the nucleus and nuclear membrane. But the prokaryotic cell having do not the nuclear membrane. Means the prokaryotic is the single envelope cell and the eukaryotic cell is the double envelope cell. Therefore, this animal which can be made up by the single cell, that is the prokaryotic type of the cell, that is single envelope cell. And this single envelope cell which perform the all these activities of that animals, like digestion, circulation, excretion and the respiration and reproduction. All these activities done by the single cells, because this animal which originally made up by the single cell, therefore for the live this animal, all these activity are necessary. That is, nutrition is essential, reproduction is the essential, that is the respiration is the essential and circulation is also essential. All these activities can be done by the single cells. Therefore, the protozoa is the small animals, microscopic animal, and it is the unicellular animal. It's having, there are the several number of the examples. The most important example of this protozoa you are studying in your practicals. That one is the amoeba, then paramecium, then euglena, then entamoeba histolytica. All these examples we are studying in your practicals. And then this one is the single grade animals, single cell, single tissue grade animals. We can modify it into the multigrade tissue animals. Multigrade tissue animal. Therefore, it can convert into the multigrade tissue animal, and which is the second phylum is the Porifera. Porifera. The meaning of the Porifera is pori means pores, fera means peripheral region. Means on the external body of that animals having the pores. Minute pores are having on the external body of that animals. Therefore, it is known as the Porifera. The Porifera animals is the aquatic animals. And the entire body of that animals having the pores externally, we can see. And this animal, that even is the Porifera animals, which is the multigrade tissue animals. Means this animal which is made up by the several number of the cells. And the example of this Porifera is the bath sponge. Is the marine animals found in the sea waters. And after that, this porifera, it can evolve into the coelenterata. Evolved into the coelenterata. Coelenterata means the meaning of the coelenterata. Coelenterata. Coelon means that is the cavity. Means in the inner side of the body of animal, there is a presence of the coelomic cavity. There is a presence of coelomic cavity. And that cavity present inside the body of animals, therefore it is known as the coelenterata. It is known as the coelenterata. Now, the example of the coelenterata is hydra. That is the hydra. Now, after that coelenterata, then have developed into the platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes. The meaning of the platyhelminthes is, platy means flat. Helminthes means that is a worm-like. Means the body of that animals which is the dorso-ventrally flattened. Which is the dorso-ventrally flattened. And that animal is the parasitic animals we can feed on the body of the other animals. Ectoparasitic or some are the endoparasitic animals. Ectoparasitic animals as well as the endoparasitic animals. Example is the planaria. Example is the planaria. Is the example of the platyhelminthes. Now, after this platyhelminthes, after this platyhelminthes, the next phylum is Aschelhelminthes. Aschelhelminthes. Aschel means that is the rounded. Body of that animal is the rounded. And helminthes means that is the worm-like animal. Worm-like animals means the body of that animal is the broad in center and tapering toward the both end. Tapering toward the both end. Similar to that of the earthworm. That is the worm-like body. But the shape of the body which is the rounded. Therefore, it is known as the Aschelhelminthes. The example is Nereis and Heteronereis. Nereis and Heteronereis trichinella is the example of the Aschelhelminthes. Now it is the unisexual animal. Sexes are separated. Sexual dimorphism is well developed. Externally we who identify who is the male and who is the female. But this Aschelhelminthes can evolve into the next phylum, and that is known as the Annelida. That one is the Annelida. The meaning of the Annelida, Anne means ring. Anne means ring. Means on the body of that animal there is a presence of the ring, there is a presence of the segments. There is a presence of the segment, therefore it is known as the Annelida. Means on the body of that animals from anterior to the posterior region there is a presence of the segments or there is a presence of the ring, therefore it is known as the Annelida. The specificity of that animal is, it is the bisexual animal. Bisexual means that for this bisexual, the zoological term is the hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite means it is the bisexual animals, means the both sexes. That is the male reproductive system as well as the female reproductive system. Both that system which are present in the same individuals. Present in same individuals. Therefore, it is the bisexual animals or the hermaphrodite animals. The reproduction of that animal, which is the very interesting, because in same individual there is a presence of the male gonads and that male gonad we can secrete the sperm and the spermatic fluids. Also, the male reproductive organ also present in the same individual. That one is the ovary, oviduct, uterus. All these organs which are present and which are responsible for to produce the ova or the eggs. But in that animal, the copulation can be done in cross copulation position. In cross copulation can be done in between there are the two leeches. In between there are the two leeches. Also, the food feeding habit of that animal is the interesting, because it is a sanguivorous animals. Sanguivorous. We know about the animals. It is the herbivorous animals. It is the carnivorous animals. It is the omnivorous animals, and it is the sanguivorous animals. Sanguivorous animals means the animals we can feed on the blood of the other animals. Blood of the other animals. It is the ectoparasitic animals. It is the ectoparasitic animals. And this one is the leech animal, which is the sanguivorous animal. The example is the earthworm, and that is the leech. Earthworm we can feed on the decaying foods. सडलेल्या अन्नावर तो जगणार, सडलेलं अन्न खाणार. It is the parasitic animals. The leech, which is the sanguivorous animals, we can feed on the blood of the chordates animal which enters into the waters. Because the leech animal is the aquatic animals, live inside the waters, and inside the waters the animal can go like goat, the cattle, the human, for the purpose of drinking water or the collection of the water. At that time, this leech animal we can attach to the body of that animals and to start the blood sucking and to suck the blood up to fulfill the coelomic cavity of that animals. Therefore, it is sanguivorous animals. Therefore, the food mechanism, food taking mechanism, which is the very interesting in that animals. And later on, after this Annelida, the next phylum is the Arthropoda. Artho means jointed. Poda means that is the legs. Artho means jointed, and poda means that is the legs. Means in that animal the jointed appendages are present. The example is the crab, or the all insect we can include in the arthropoda, because all these insect having the jointed appendages. We know about the mosquito, it having there are the three pair of the thoracic legs, that legs which are joined to one another and then to form the complete legs. Crab, that is the jointed appendages. Therefore, it is known as the arthropoda. Now, these some arthropods are the terrestrial animals, we can live on the lands. Some are the aquatic animals, and some are the amphibian type animals, live inside the water or outside the water. And these animals, or inside these animals, the sexual dimorphism is well developed because it is the unisexual animals. Means the male having the male reproductive system, female having the female reproductive system. Therefore, it is the biramous animal. Biramous means the both sexes which are found in separate individuals. The single animals which is the unisexual, मेल असेल तर मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह सिस्टीम राहणार, फिमेल असेल तर फिमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह सिस्टीम त्याच्यामध्ये राहणार. अँड आफ्टर दॅट द नेक्स्ट वन इज mollusca. The meaning of the mollusca is the soft body animals, means the body of that animal is the soft. the outer covering of the body of that animals is completely soft, like to that of the sponge. But this body of that animals which completely covered by the hard tunic cell, hard tunic calcareous cell. Now for example, that is the pila, bivalve, mytilus is one of the example of the mollusca. All these are the aquatic animals, but few are the terrestrial animals. Few are the terrestrial animals. And the entire body of that animals which can be covered inside the cell. Inside the cell. Therefore, the body of that animals which becomes soft, therefore it is known as the molluscan. That molluscan, inside this molluscan there is a presence of the gills. There is a presence of the gills. That gills we can use for the respiration. Now after this mollusca, the next one is the echinodermata. Next one is the echinodermata. Now this echinodermata is one of the 9th number of the phylum. In this phylum, there are the animals which are completely marine animals, aquatic animals, particularly that is the marine animals, that is the beetle star, aster, then that one is a starfish. This type of the animals we can include in that echinodermata. But in this echinodermata, there is the presence of the water canal system, and through this water canal system, the food mechanism, the respiration mechanism can be done through this water canal system. And after this echinodermata, the next phylum is the hemichordata. Hemi means half. Chordates means there is the presence of the notochords. Means in the body of that animal there is a presence of the notochord. But this notochord only present in the half region of the body of animals. Only present in the cephalic region of the body of animals. Cephalic means that is the anterior region of the body of animals, or posterior region of the body of animals. That is the anal region. Or this notochord only present in larval stage. But which is disappear at adult stage. It means this notochord only present in half region of the body of animals, or only larval stage of the body of animals. Because therefore it is the hemichordata. Actually, the hemi जर काढलं तर काय राहणार chordates. What are the peculiar character of the chordates? That is the presence of the gill slits, there is the presence of the nerve cord, and there is the presence of the notochords. Now the gill slits are present in the hemichordates. The nerve cord is present in the hemichordates, and this one is the notochord, only present in the half region of the body of animals, or only in the larval stage of that animal. Therefore, it is the hemichordates. Means the peculiar character of the chordates, half characters which are present in that animals. Therefore, it is known as the hemichordates. Now, it is the confuse. That type of the animals, or that type of the phylum we can include in the non-chordate or the chordates. At the time of the study of that animals, or the study of the phylum hemichordates animal, some scientists decision that animals having the more character which similar to that of the non-chordate, therefore it included in the non-chordate phylum. but some scientists confuse there are the peculiar cat of the chordates which are present in that animals. Therefore, that phylum we can include in the chordates because the presence of the gill slit, presence of the notochord, and presence of the norchord which are present in chordate, and that character which also present in the hemichordate. Therefore, this phylum hemichordata we can include in the non-chordate phylum. But majority of the scientists, after the study and conclusion on the maximum character of these hemichordate animals which are similar to that of the non-chordate, therefore it can include in the non-chordate at 10th position, and that one is the hemichordates. Now in this way, this is the classification of the non-chordate. We already study in the BSc part 1 in semester first, but we know about the non-chordate. There is no understand the classification of the chordates. तुम्हाला जोपर्यंत नॉन कॉर्डेट लक्षात राहणार नाही, लक्षात येणार नाही, तोपर्यंत तुम्हाला क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ कॉर्डेट समजणार नाही. म्हणून मी तुम्हाला पहिल्यांदा नॉन कॉर्डेटचं क्लासिफिकेशन पूर्ण समजून दिलंय. अँड अकॉर्डिंग टू धिस यू आर स्टडी दिस नॉन कॉर्डेट क्लासिफिकेशन. Understand this non-chordate classification, and after that we can understand the chordate characters. Otherwise, we know about the non-chordate classification. There is no meaning to the study of chordate classification. Chordate classification. म्हणून मी तुम्हाला पहिल्यांदा जरी मागच्या वर्षी शिकले असाल तरी तुम्हाला हे पहिल्यांदा समजून दिलं एवढ्यासाठी की ते तुम्हाला पुढचं समजलं पाहिजे. बिकॉज दिस हेमिकॉर्डेट इज द ॲन्सेस्टर ऑफ द कॉर्डेट्स. त्याचा पूर्वज आहे, त्याची सुरुवात आहे, त्याच्यापासून कॉर्डेट डेव्हलप झालेलं आहे. म्हणून हे आपल्याला सुरुवात माहिती असली पाहिजे, म्हणून आपण ते समोरचं घेतलेलं आहे. नाव इन दिस वे, नाव टुडे वी हॅव स्टडी the non-chordate or invertebrate classification of the non-chordate phyla. Now next time in next lecture we have study the classification of the chordates. आणि लॉकडाऊन सुरू आहे. Stay at home and safe at home. Do not move outside the home or outside the house. Stay home.